Dear friends, today we will embark on a fascinating journey through the life of artist Louis Léopold Robert. You will hear the story of a man who aspired to be an artist, but was confronted with the harsh realities of life. In this video, you will see his paintings, hear about his journey from a small Swiss town to the workshops of Paris, and learn how one political event changed his fate forever. Imagine the town of La Chaux-de-Fonds in the early 19th century. It was here in 1794 that Louis Léopold Robert, the son of an ordinary watchmaker, was born. His parents prepared him for a career in commerce and craftsmanship, but the boy showed another gift, a talent for drawing. As a teenager, he went to Paris, where he worked in Charles Girardet's workshop and attended classes taught by the great Jacques-Louis David. The future seemed bright. Robert was confidently developing as an engraver and dreamed of winning the Prix de Rome, a prestigious award that opened doors to the world of art. But history made its own adjustments. After 1815, Neuchâtel, his native land, came under Prussian rule. And because of this political turn, the young artist lost the right to participate in the competition. One political event ruined all his plans. One decree destroyed all his dreams. It was this injustice that forced him to give up engraving and turn to painting, and it was this decision that determined the artist's entire future. It was the beginning of a new path that would lead him to Italy, fame, and at the same time, personal tragedies. Friends, please support us with likes and subscriptions for regular content, and thank you for watching us. Politics has always influenced the lives of people, countries, and even artists. That was the case then, and unfortunately, it is still the case today. What do you think? Has anything changed since then? Share your thoughts in the comments. After failing in his quest to become an engraver, fate opened up another path for Louis Léopold Robert. Thanks to the support of patron François Roulet Mézerac, he found himself in Rome, a city that seemed to have been created for art. It was here that he finally abandoned engraving and immersed himself in painting. His attention was drawn not so much to the solemn art of antiquity or the majestic churches as to the lives of ordinary people. Peasants, fishermen, shepherds, in their movements, celebrations, and daily chores, he saw beauty worthy of canvas. During those years, the artist conceived an idea that would become his most important project, a series of 4 paintings that would symbolize the seasons of Italy through scenes from the life of its people. It was a completely new approach, not allegories or ancient gods, but living people in real circumstances. And it was this perspective that made him a favorite of critics and the public. The year 1827 became a turning point. Robert exhibited the painting The Pilgrimage to the Madonna of the Arch. The canvas depicts a festive crowd, full of color and movement. When it was presented at the Paris Salon, the response was incredible. Critics called it the discovery of a new romantic vision of life, and viewers saw in the greatness of the Italian people. The painting was immediately purchased by the Louvre, which was a real triumph for the young artist. But it wasn't just his work that was captivating. Italy itself was a center of attraction for artists from all over Europe at that time. The ruins of Rome reminded people of the grandeur of the empire. The picturesque landscapes of Campania and Naples, inspired with their colors, and ordinary people with their traditions, seemed to embody primitive sincerity. It was here that Robert's best works were born, bringing him fame throughout Europe. In the next episode, we will see how fame and success were followed by personal dramas that changed the artist forever. In the early 1830s, Louis Léopold Robert became a true star of Romanticism. After his success at the Paris Salon, his name became known far beyond Italy. His paintings captivated viewers with their sincerity and beauty, showing respect for ordinary people and at the same time a solemnity that brought peasant scenes closer to historical canvases. His subsequent works only cemented his fame. In 1831, he presented The Departure of the Fisherman from the Island of Procida and later The Return of the Neapolitan Fisherman. These canvases were impressive in scale and composition. Robert was able to convey both huge crowds of people and the smallest details, from facial expressions to chiaroscuro, which enveloped the scenes with a special emotional power. At this time, he was at the height of his fame. His works were included in the largest collections, and his name was among the leading representatives of Romanticism in painting. But behind his external success lay a personal drama. Robert was in love with Princess Charlotte Napoleon Bonaparte, the daughter of Joseph Bonaparte, but this romance was doomed. The difference in status and circumstances made it impossible. The loss of love left a deep wound in Robert's soul. This was compounded by another blow, the death of his mother, who was the closest person to him. It coincided with the moment when his career was reaching its peak. And although the artist continued to work, his paintings gradually took on a tinge of sadness, becoming more dramatic and conveying a sense of loss. The story of Louis Léopold Robert reminds us that behind the resounding triumphs of artists often lie personal suffering. This was the case with him. His talent elevated him to the pinnacle of fame, while personal tragedies slowly undermined him from within. It was this contradiction between external recognition and internal pain that made his work so sincere and emotional. From then on, his work took on a special bitterness, drama, and sense of loss. At first glance, his paintings remained majestic and bright, but behind them lay a personal tragedy that could be seen in his canvases. The last stage of Louis Léopold Robert's life was filled with shadows and loneliness. Despite his success and recognition, the artist was increasingly haunted by personal losses and inner turmoil. His impossible love for Princess Charlotte Napoleon Bonaparte, the death of his mother, and a sense of isolation in a world where politics and social circumstances repeatedly thwarted his plans all deepened his despair with each passing year. In 1835, at the height of his fame, Robert took his own life in Venice. He was only 41. For his contemporaries, this news came as a shock. How could a man of such renown and talent leave this life so tragically? But it was precisely this premature death that made him even more romantic and mysterious. Robert's legacy is a series of paintings in which simple Italian peasants appear with a dignity and beauty rarely seen in the art of that time. His works are now kept in the Louvre and other major museums in Europe, and each painting speaks of an artist who knew how to see the majestic in the everyday. Friends, thank you for joining me on this journey through the life of Louis Léopold Robert. His story reminds us that art is always a reflection of human destiny, with light and shadow, triumphs and tragedies. If you like this video, please support it with a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do tragedies really make art deeper?